Those expenses were including $5,300 to the West Hollywood edition in Los Angeles, $1,100 to the Times Square edition in New York City. I don't even know what those are. An edition? The $2,700 to the Edgartown Inn and $3,100 at the Cocoa, both in Martha's Vineyard. Wow. Just campaigning for her constituents. It's such a grift.
Again, on this fixed income that I am paid in Congress, the idea of actually buying a new home, we don't get enough money. I mean, I'm being honest.
Jasmine Crockett is broke. Oh no. She's got a lien on one of her properties for $3,000 because she can't even afford to manage her own financial house. So I have an idea. Let's put her in Congress and then she can run finances for all of America. But the New York Post got their heads and hands on this one. Said, loudmouth Jasmine owes more than $3,000 on an unpaid lien against her Dallas condo, a luxury condo, which, quote, she continues to fail and refuses to pay off. Crockett was slapped with a claim of $3,000 by a West Side Condominium Association. She was very excited when she found it. She's like, oh, it's called West Side? She's like, I love Tupac. Which blocks her from selling the property until that debt is paid off. Fox News first reported, records show that Crockett is in default in her obligation for payment of assessments and has failed and refused to pay despite a demand upon her to pay the association assessments. The Texas Democrat bought the property in 2014. The address is listed on her voter registration. The complex boasts spa-like features, wow, including a pool and a clubhouse, and is located in a gated community. And there's Jasmine. She was doing the Fifth Element opera singer, blue-haired lady. She watched that movie with Bruce Willis and she was really inspired by it. Crockett's office did not immediately respond to a request for comment. They make a salary of $174,000. Her most recent financial disclosures show she's got between $15,000 and $50,000 worth of student loan debt left. She's 44 years old and she says, I might run for Senate. She said, I'm still thinking about running. We did get our polling back, so we're moving on the next phase to determine whether or this would make sense. To be perfectly honest, she said, the only reason that I'm continuing to consider whether or not I do this is because my polling says I can win. That's the bottom line. That's all she cares about. Doesn't care about her country or her constituents, just about winning. So Crockett teased that she would make a decision by Thanksgiving, though she hasn't given us any decision. She's got a decision coming up, deadline by December 8th. News of Crockett's lien comes weeks after she received scrutiny for splurging $75,000 in campaign cash this year at posh hotels and transportation in places like New York City, Las Vegas, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Martha's Vineyard, Chicago. Those expenses were including $5,300 to the West Hollywood edition in Los Angeles, $1,100 to the Times Square edition in New York City. I don't even know what those are. An edition? The $2,700 to the Edgartown Inn and $3,100 at the Cocoa, both in Martha's Vineyard. Wow. Just campaigning for her constituents. It's such a grift. And the Democrats will still vote for her because she's Team Blue. Crockett also took some $50,000 from her campaign coffers during that time for security, which she has publicly claimed is necessary due to threats she's received. So that's from Jasmine. Stuff is so hard for her that she can't even pay her bills on time. And when it comes to whether she's going to run or not, listen to this exchange with her over on CBS.
So if I hear you correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, you're actually debating about whether to run in a different district than 30?
I'm debating about whether or not I would run where they put me, which is where I live. Yeah.
In 33?
In 33.
And what about the idea of just moving back into 30?
Again, on this fixed income that I am paid in Congress, the idea of actually buying a new home, we don't get enough money. I mean, I'm being honest. And I know that some people may take issue with that because they talk about how much money we make. And I get it. It's not that we're obviously getting minimum wage. But by the time you talk about having I have a mortgage and I have an interest rate that is like 3%.
Yeah, thank you, President Trump, for that, Jasmine.
Interest rates are not that low anymore, right? That's number one. Number two, so it's a matter of, oh, do you sell your home, then go somewhere else and get a higher interest rate? Like there's all these variables. And as a single woman who has one income, who's not allowed to make outside income, there's a lot to be had there. I think.
Okay, by the way, they can make outside income. So they do have a cap. There is a congressional pay cap, right? There's only a certain amount of money you should be making outside of your congressional obligations. It's like $31,000 a year. It's actually not a lot, right? If it's earned income, then you can't keep it over a certain cap. So for example, like if you're going to go be a college professor and teach law or whatever, okay, you can't make more than 31,000 or whatever the numbers are. But the way they all get around this is they say that it's not earned income. I'm not working for it. It's royalties, like in a book deal or or it's passive income, from like social media posts or whatever. A bunch of certain things like book royalties, I think, are even excluded. So they're allowed to make money. They all are gambling in the stock markets, all these things. So they make a ton of money. They also get stipends. We were talking about this morning on the members only stream, explaining how they get living costs, they get travel costs, they get office supply costs. Senators get furniture stipends. Like, they get money coming out the wazoo, and they get free media to pitch all of their stuff to. They're very well off. They're doing just fine. So, but she can't figure it out because she'd rather buy Fifth Element space alien wigs and go to various locations that I've never even heard of and spend the money that way. So truth is, she's broke, and she's a great representative for the Democrat Party, who would like us all to be broke and are working hard to make that happen, funneling our money to illegal aliens and elsewhere. So Crockett is broke, liens on her house. Maybe she can get her life together for once.